Hello and welcome to Teddy Talks with me, Matt, and my good friend Bunny the Bear. Now, everybody knows that bears love sleeping. But the bear in today's story just wants a few more minutes before it's bedtime. It's called Bedtime, Little Bear, and it's by Igloo Books. Are you ready, buddy? Good. Late one afternoon, Little Bear was balancing on an old log. It was a good game. "Time for bed, Little Bear," called Mother Bear. "It's getting late." Little Bear stopped balancing for a moment and fell off. He didn't feel a bit sleepy. "I don't think that can have been Mother Bear calling me," he said to himself. "It must have been the trickling stream." A few minutes later, Little Bear found some lovely leaves to play in. His friend Mouse passed by. "Oh, Little Bear," called Mouse, "I think I heard Mother Bear calling you." Little Bear poked out his head. He didn't want to stop playing. He was having so much fun. "I don't think that can have been Mouse's squeaky voice," he said to himself. "It must have been the rustling leaves." When Little Bear finished playing, he noticed that the sky was as red and as gold as the fallen leaves he'd been playing in. He climbed a tree to get a better view. High in the branches, his friend Squirrel was scampering past. "Little Bear," called Squirrel, "didn't I hear Mother Bear and Mouse calling to you?" Little Bear hugged the trunk. "That wasn't Squirrel calling," he said to himself. "It must have been the breeze swishing through the trees." Little Bear watched as the sun slipped behind a hill. Then he climbed down to the bottom of the tree. Shadows were deepening all around him. "It's time to go home," said Little Bear. As Little Bear trudged through the trees, the moon rose up into the sky and all the twinkling stars came out. "It's almost as light as the day," said Little Bear. But somehow things looked different at night, and scary too. Little Bear wasn't sure which way to go. Now Little Bear thought that maybe someone had been calling him. He wished that he had answered. What if he could never find his way home? But just then he heard a tiny sound. "Little Bear." Little Bear listened harder. "Little Bear, Little Bear, Little Bear." "That's not the trickling stream," said Little Bear, "and it's not rustling leaves or the breeze in the trees. It sounds like Mother Bear." And it was. Little Bear ran right into Mother Bear's warm, furry arms. Mouse and Squirrel, who'd been helping Mother Bear search for Little Bear, did a little dance of delight. Little Bear felt very sleepy now, so Mother Bear carried him home to his snuggly bed. "Good night, Little Bear," said Mother Bear softly. "Good night, Little Bear," called Mouse from his comfy bed. "Oh, good night, Little Bear," said Squirrel from his tree-top nest. It was peaceful in the woodland, and all that could be heard was the trickling stream, the rustling leaves, and the breeze in the trees, and a little bear snoring softly. Well, that's all from Teddy Talks for today, but we'll see you again soon.